Right, so if you don't know who I am, my name is Matt and I work for Music Fusion. I've had the privilege of kind of leading this project. If you don't know what the project's about, it's called YOUnique. And what we plan to do with the funding that we got from Big Lottery was to create an album and a documentary to raise awareness around hate crime. So hate crime means things like racism, sexism, bullying, homophobia, cyberbullying and things like that. So everyone in some sort of way has been affected by this, and it's something we decided to tackle head on. So what I decided to do is I brought a steering group of young people that had personal experience around this, and they led the project. I just kind of sat there and twiddled my thumbs sometimes, but they are the people that led it. So at the end I will bring them on stage and you'll get to meet them. Some of them are actually performing tonight as well. So at the end of tonight you will get a free copy of the album. And if you haven't already, please make sure you pick up your free glow-in-the-dark wristband. Everyone loves free stuff. So, as a special treat to all you guys here, I have brought a special guest down to host tonight. He is a living UK hip-hop legend, and he will be performing at the end of the night. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Genesis Elijah!
What's good, people?
Right, we've finally kick-started the project, so now we've started sorting out the merchandise and we've got people recording and that. How do you think we've done so far?
We've done pretty well. To be honest, we're going into the final stages of sorting out all the merchandise, so that's moving on quite well. As far as recording is concerned, we've got a couple of solid tracks. We're just trying to get more people. But yeah, those people are seeming interested.
Yeah, I mean, I have people like, comment on my music all the time. I've got people just slating me for everything I do, but the best advice I could give to anyone in that position is just use it to your advantage, use it to motivate you. If you find something that you enjoy doing, then just let it inspire you, let it use the negative energy into positive energy. I want this sort of, the whole album, just to sort of send a message to people and just make them realise, they don't need to listen to what people say and how they think of them, that they can just be themselves without worrying about being criticised, because I think the best thing you can do is just be yourself, and if it can, inspire people and help them get out of a bad place, then even just one person, that's good enough for me, that's achievement.
I've been obviously a victim of bullying and cyberbullying. I was friends with these people for a long time and they just turned on me all of a sudden without any reason. They were calling me names, shouting stuff at me across the playground, messaging me on Facebook, tagging me in pictures of really horrible things. And yeah, just basically making me feel like the smallest person ever. That's obviously put a big knock on my confidence, and I have a lot of anxiety issues at the moment, obviously just with new friendship groups, just worried that the same thing's going to happen again. They may make you feel worthless and that you are nothing, but you're not the one that's making someone else feel like that. So why would you let someone who is so little and so pathetic that they'd want to do that to someone, why would you let them make you feel like that? You need to obviously do anything you can just to get your mind off of it, because they're not everything and you're so more than them. You're 100 times the person they ever will be, so why let someone make you feel like that?
Try to get the best interview done, I mean, the whole thing like this afternoon, when you have to talk to so many journalists, what's good? Well, it's part of my job, so I have to do it. We don't do it that often, so I mean, it's the first kind of press conference we've had for a long while, 3, 4, 5 years maybe.
One of my friends was a homosexual, and he was really bullied for this. He not only physically bullied, but mentally, psychologically, and that is the worst type of bullying. And at a point, he lost his identity, he lost his cause, and it resulted in him committing suicide. And because I saw that, because I saw how devastating that was to him, I now can say that this is probably one of the worst things that is occurring on Earth currently, today, now. And that is something that we should certainly change.
What are you guys here to see?
We're here to see
Maz. There's a lot of people come to see Maz.
I'm from as well.
I'll see you, man.
Hate crime is the action that occurs, but it stems from what people learn from a young age. I think the problem is from a young age being brought up in an environment where being hateful or seeing people differently is seen as portrayed as an okay thing to be.
What do you think is the main contribution to hate crime? So why kind of people do it?
It was a kind of thing they did in society back in olden days. It was a normal thing to do, so I guess people just carried on.
It's humanity for instance. I think hate crime is bullying or attacking or hurting someone for just being themselves and not having anything against them other than them being them. I think stereotyping is a very prominent factor of it. I think it's more that people just straight up don't like something that someone's doing, even though they shouldn't really care about it. Just if they're there, if they're not causing anyone any harm, why should they not be allowed to do it?
I joined school at when I joined school, and then from about first year all the way up to year 8, possibly 9, I was bullied and abused and made to feel like crap because of what I liked and sort of what I listened to. I got bullied because of what I wore, for example, things like this. I got bullied for my looks, who I hang around with, who I dated, who I talked to, what I played, done in my spare time, just about anything they could.
And you met me.
I met you, and everything changed. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first kind of saw him in there, I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, do you know what I mean? I don't really listen to metal in my spare time, but when they come on, I kind of, do you know what I mean? I just thought it was just weird, innit? But
you appreciate it.
Yeah, but then I kept watching it, and I kind of opened myself up to be open-minded about the whole thing. And I kind of realised that the metal band were easily the best performance for me.
I'm openly gay, so when I came out of school, not only was I the only brown person in school, which made things difficult to start with because I was getting loads of hate because people were like, oh, why are you brown? And stuff, so I had to deal with that. And then I used to because I was quite clever to begin with at school, people used to pick on me because of that. And they felt like because I was brown and clever, it shouldn't have worked or something. And it was a strict Catholic school, well, Church of England Catholic. There was loads of Catholic people that went to it. I don't know how Christian politics work, but I wasn't Christian, so people were like, oh no, you can't, you should pray in assemblies and stuff. And I was like, well, I don't believe in whatever. But so yeah, so I was having hate because of religion, because of my race, because of being gay. And then I came out. And then, people used to hate on me because of being gay. And then eventually, my best friend, Sarah, came to our school. And she was black. And because I used to get into loads of fights and my education went down, the first thing I did was get into a fight with her. Because I was like, she's competition. She's from London. She's a London youth. I need to get into a fight. And then I got into a fight with her. We were kicking and punching. She was pulling my hair and I was pulling her hair and stuff. And then eventually we sat in the medical room and we looked over at each other and we just burst out laughing. We were like, what the hell was that for? And then ever since we just sort of realised, you know what? what other people think, it doesn't, you don't really have to care about what other people think, because so long as you know that you're good, so long as you know that you're pure and, with your heart and everything, so long as you put your heart and soul into everything you do, I think, I think you don't really need to be caring about what people think and stuff.
At first I was a bit nervous, and then after a while I got like a massive thrill of it, and it was just really fun. I just really enjoyed it, and it makes me want to go back out and do more of it.
Yo, Kiz Monster!
Yo!
How you doing?
Good.
And you have just done your first ever music video.
For Billy.
How do you feel right now?
Feel amazing.
What was your favourite bit?
On the drums, because I can't exactly play drums well, and I was just slamming them.
So, you're a bit of an actor, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, the acting parts that you just done for us became pretty natural, yeah?
Yeah.
And do you want to just explain how that came about? Why did you have to do this sort of thing? And explain the story behind it.
Basically, the song Bully is about how I felt about being bullied, and sort of redeeming myself. Therefore, the acting was just to show how I actually felt in the time. So yeah.
Cool. Would you do another one?
Yeah, 100%, always.
And what can people that support your music expect from you? What's your next plan?
My next plan is probably to record more music, and hopefully in the next few weeks do another video.
Sounds good. Do you have any shout outs or thank yous?
Yeah, I thank Music Fusion really.
If enough was done to tackle hate crime, there would have been no hate crime. Therefore, certainly enough hasn't been done to tackle hate crime. But I think, yes, more needs to be done without any doubts. The first thing that I would say to them is that because it is a chain of events, it's not one-sided. It can be changed on the other side. For instance, I would certainly recommend to him forgiveness, for him to forgive the other person, because he doesn't know the other person. He doesn't know how the other person who bullied him was raised. He doesn't know that his life or her life. The first thing I would recommend to him or her would be forgiveness, because that would give him or her mental peace, and that is a good first step to start with. But the second thing that I would tell him or her, I would suggest to him or her, is that if you get bullied again, do not let others bully you. But how? Obviously it would be a hard thing. By showing the best of yourself, by love. The opposite of hate is obviously love. With showing love, I don't think that you're going to receive hatred. So, forgiveness and then love. I think that would be the best option for him.
I played drums for the track called Mr. No Man by Cold Theory. The whole idea of the song originated from my singer Joe. He designs most of our songs, but this one was mainly inspired by, I think, his or partners of his times at school, and this ended up with a track about bullying, and obviously an inspiration is what you need.
Sitting there eating your lonely sandwich, you ain't got no friends, no. Putting me down, pushing me this and that way, that ain't the way to go.
Hate crime, genuinely people who stereotype other people and kind of abuse the faculty of it, and kind of pick on people that don't need it. That's what I think. Well, the majority of the time, if you're hanging around with a group of friends and you look like me per se, I don't know, you get emo, goth, you know, people like to pick on groups that are different, I suppose, and that happens quite a bit. People get beaten up because they look different, so.
I would say start with children, like, because obviously they are the future. They are what's gonna, you know, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be the politicians, the teachers. You know, they're gonna be the ones. And I think if we educate them, if we tell them, you know, if we show them other sides, and we don't categorize them. We help them to understand other cultures, other races, other genders, you know, sexualities. Obviously not too young with the sexual stuff, but like, you know, just teach them, just let them know, just teach them about everything, teach them to understand, to tolerate, and to be peaceful, to love. I think that's what we need to do.
You have to go talk to someone. It can be literally anyone. Go talk to a parent, the police, go talk to a teacher, a carer, even a friend, and they will sort out anything that you need.
But there are some people that will be able to help you out there. They can talk to you, not like necessarily the police, because if you don't want to get the police involved straight away, there's other numbers you can call, and if it's a serious offence then the police can get involved, but they won't jump straight to arresting. They would see if there's ways out of it.
Well, the first thing that comes into my mind is ignorance, to be honest. And the second thing that comes to my mind is how complicated it is. Because it is not something that would take place suddenly. A chain of events has led to this hate crime or to anything related to it. So I think that's the real problem is not the crime itself, but the motivation behind it. So that comes into mind.
Girl in the corner, she is very quiet. Don't underestimate her, she could be a riot. Hands on my heart and souls in my head. Everything you own in the box to the left is a big, big world and a big, big place. Different fingerprints, different faces. This is me, who I really wanna be. Share a little bit, no, it's Natalie.
When I was a little youth, you know them days they were kinda cute. With my dad, my best friends and my old friends, the real ones. Always chilling with the man them, but they stabbed me in the back. Rap, wasn't expecting that. Now I'm killing every track. Aunt Ruby, you're my world, you're like a piece of rare gold. When you leave, it's gonna be ill. No one will know how I feel. Thank you to my dad, doing it on his own, even when I make him feel so low. You're one in a million, dad, thinking what I've done, I feel so bad. I've made you feel so sad, now it's time to make you feel so glad. There's so much more to life than just 4 walls. Not going to school, yeah, it might seem cool, but at the end of the day, you're the one who will look like the tool. No matter what you do, I'll never fall.
I've made mistakes, I know I've done that, but life hating me, I don't deserve that. La la la.